everyone. Today in True Crime Time, we will be discussing old nasty-ass Gary Leon Ridgway, also known as the Green River Killer. As I said before, my laptop is down here, so if you see me looking down, that's why, because I can't remember all this. Okay, cool. Gary was born on February 18th, 1949, making him an Aquarius. He's one of your people, Aquarius. He was born in Salt Lake City, Utah, to parents Mary and Thomas Ridgway. He was the middle child and had two brothers. His early life was not perfect. His mother was said to be very domineering with a flair for dressing inappropriately. And by that I mean she showed her ass and tatas off a lot. His father worked as a bus driver, would often take young Gary to work with him, which sounds great. Like a good dad, right? No. His father often talked shit about prostitutes who rode his bus, but then he would also leave Gary alone on the bus for long periods of time so he could get his rocks off with those prostitutes, which is nasty for leaving your kid there. Just not good. Gary developed a bedwetting problem that lasted until he was about 13, so way past when he should have not been wetting the bed anymore. Each time this happened, his mother would give him a bath and wash his genitals. Even saying that makes me want to barf. She wore revealing nightgowns or a robe with nothing underneath. Gary later admitted this led to him being sexually attracted to her, but also having fantasies about killing her. So, even as a teenager, he was all the way fucked up. Yeah. For those who don't know, the McDonald triad links cruelty to animals, fire setting, arson or pyromania, and persistent bedwetting past a certain age to violent behaviors, particularly homicidal behavior and sexually predatory behavior. Ridgway was held back a year due to his dyslexia. At age 16, he led a 6-year-old boy into the woods and stabbed him between the ribs into his liver. Because, like I said, Ridgway was fucked up. Ridgway stated he did this just to see how the stabbing worked. Sir, what the fuck is wrong with you? Ridgway graduated high school in 1969 and married his 19-year-old high school girlfriend shortly after. Later, she discussed that he preferred sex outdoors where they could be caught at any time, and although she found it unusual, she did it to please him. He signed up to join the U.S. Navy and was sent over to Vietnam, where he frequented sex workers and contracted gonorrhea, which really pissed him off, although he did nothing to prevent this from happening again and continued to visit them and not use any protection. Sir, what the fuck? While he was abroad, his wife had an extramarital affair and the marriage fell apart. Ridgway married again and found religion. He would even go door to door to try to share the word of God. He expected his second wife to follow the rules that his pastor set, and he would even cry while listening to a sermon or reading the Bible. That just creeps me out, sorry. This had no impact on his sexual desire, and he continued to frequent prostitutes. He and his second wife had a son, but she claims after their child was born, the relationship between them was never the same. Probably because he wasn't free to fulfill his nasty-ass public sex habit. Ugh. Friends and family of Ridgway described him as friendly but strange. If your friends and family are saying that about you, that's not good. His first 2 marriages ended in divorce due to infidelity. All of his exes agreed that he had a voracious sexual appetite, which led him to having sex with them several times per day. And he wanted sex in public all the time. Later, it was revealed some of the public locations he took as significant others were locations where victims had been dumped or found. So, you nasty Gary. The total number of women and girls Ridgway killed is not known. His victims range in age from 15 to 38. Most of his victims, sadly, were teenagers. His murders span over the course of 16 years. He would pick up a prostitute or vulnerable runaway, rape them, strangle the life out of them, dump the body, and then return subsequently to perform necrophilic acts until insect activity or decomposition made it impossible to do so. So, sir, you disgust me. Ridgway was arrested on November 30th, 2001, and on November 18th, 2003, King County Superior Court Judge Richard Jones sentenced Ridgway to 48 life sentences. 48. With no possibility of parole, and one life sentence to be served consecutively. He was also sentenced to an additional 10 years for tampering with evidence for each of the 48 victims, adding 480 years to his 48 life sentences. That is a whole lot of life sentences and years. That, my friends, was the story of the Green River Killer. It always astounds me how someone's childhood can give a window into their psyche. As always, the victims and their loved ones are the ones who matter, and I mean no disrespect to the family and loved ones of the victims. That was the story of Gary Nasty Ass Ridgway. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.